Hi there, welcome to Smart Quiz Builder. My name is Veena Prashant. This video is all about personality quizzes. One question I get asked a lot is, what is a personality quiz and what is the difference between a personality quiz and all the other types of quizzes that you can create in SQB, such as assessments and scoring quizzes and surveys. Actually, we'll be adding a lot more quizzes. We'll be adding calculators and polls. At the time of this recording, you can do these 4 types of quizzes in SQB: personality, assessment, scoring, and surveys. So what is the difference between these types of quizzes? When should you create a personality quiz versus these other types of quizzes? So we'll take a look at all of this. And there are different types of personality quizzes that you can create. You can create a lead magnet quiz. You can use a personality quiz as a product recommendation engine to recommend the right product or right resource, the right course or right service to your users, to your prospects. So we'll take a look at that. And also you can just create a personality quiz as a fun quiz, the types that you see on BuzzFeed or shared on Facebook. So we'll take a look at all different types of quizzes. I'll show you different examples as well. I'm using the lead magnet quiz on my site, and I'll show you how I created it using SQB. I'm also using SQB as a product recommendation engine on my site to recommend the right license to our users on our DApp site. I'll show you how I built that quiz. So we'll take a look at different types of quizzes. Different types of personality quizzes that you can create and when you should create a personality quiz versus some of these other types of quizzes. Let's talk about different types of quizzes. Personality quiz is the one where you can create different outcomes or results first, and then as you create your questions, you can map or you can connect each answer choice to one or more outcomes. SQB will automatically assign a point to the right outcomes based on the answers the quiz takers pick in the front end. And at the end, whichever outcome type has the most points is the right personality type or the right outcome for that user. So this is how a personality quiz works. Now a scoring quiz is one where each answer choice is assigned a point value. In the back end, you can say how many points you want to give users based on the answers they pick. Now points are added throughout the quiz and the quiz results are based on the total number of points the quiz takers get. So you can show users different outcomes based on their score. You can use the scoring range to create different outcomes. And you can also assign different tags based on their score. Now, assessments are very similar to scoring quiz, except there are no points. Instead, you can mark the answer choice as correct or incorrect in the backend. And you can use this type of quiz to test the knowledge of your students in a specific topic. The final result they get, it's based on total number of correct answers. And just like the scoring quiz, you can create different outcome screens. For example, if they get anywhere from say 0 to 3 correct answers, you can show them one message. And if they get anywhere from say 4 to 10, you can show them completely different message. So you can create as many outcome screens based on the range. That's completely up to you. A survey is a research method. It will help you collect information from your users. It will help you collect insights in different areas of your business from your users. Now, an interactive calculator will allow you to collect information such as income, budget, and other qualifying questions from each lead. And in SQB, you can add formulas to do all kinds of complex math using that information that you collect. And you can generate a personalized results page for your prospects based on their specific answers. And you can use the formulas that you have created to display that on the final results page. So unlike an assessment or a scoring quiz, in a personality quiz, there is no right or wrong answer. So there are different ways in which you can use it. I'm going to start by showing you how you can use it as a lead magnet quiz. So this is my site, membershipsitelab.com. I offer free courses, paid courses, all of that from this site. So if you go to membershipsitelab.com, you will see that there is a button there that says click here to get access. Now, before I had created SQB, on this site, I just used to have a static opt-in form. So users would go to this page and they would enter their name and email like most other sites, and they would click on the button to get access and they would get instant access. But with a static form, you're not going to get any information about your users, right? They just sign up and they get a freebie. But if you replace your static form with the lead magnet quiz, you can collect a bunch of information about your users and then give them access to the freebie. So they still get access to the freebie, but they answer a few questions before they get access. And the users will happily answer the questions because it's not like they're answering a long form with a whole bunch of questions. And the way the SQB quizzes are designed, they are so elegant. They are happy to answer questions because they get an opportunity to let you know what their specific problems are, what their specific challenges are. And at the end, you are able to get the information that you need from your prospects about exactly what they are looking for. And at the end, you also give them access to the freebie. This is why I no longer use static forms. I'm using these interactive forms because I'm able to collect so much information about my prospects, and then I'm able to reach out to them because SQB gives me the email address of the person who just signed up, and I can add them to my email platform as well through integrations with SQB. And I get so much information about the users. I know exactly what their specific challenges are, and then I'm able to reach out to them to let them know how I can help them. A lot more people will sign up if you have a lead magnet form than a static opt-in form, right? Because static opt-in form, people have opt-in blindness. They just skip past it. They're not even going to see that it's there because they're so used to it. But with the lead magnet quiz, they just click the button and it looks different. They answer the questions. They won't even feel like they're answering questions because it's like they're telling you their story. They're telling you exactly what their problems are. And at the end, they still get access to the freebie, but they are happy to let you know what their problems are. And you get information about your prospects that you would have not gotten otherwise through a static form. The other cool thing you can do with SQB is you can add branching logic, which means depending on how your prospects are answering the questions, you can show them the right next question. So the cool thing about SQB is when you create a personality quiz, when you create a lead magnet quiz, you can add branching logic, which means depending on their answers, you can show them the right next question, which is more relevant to them. They can relate to it more. So that's what I do as well. Based on the answers, I ask them the right next question. I add them to the right segment. I give them the right tag. You can also use SQB to create a product recommendation engine. How many times have you gone to a site and you have looked at all the different offers and gotten confused and left, right? So you can use SQB to build a product recommendation engine. You can do this using a personality quiz where you can let users know what is the right offer, right product, right course, right resource for them based on their specific needs. We are using it on our plugin site, on our Digital Access Pass site, which is a membership plugin, to let users know what is the right license for them. So there are so many different ways in which you can use it. Other than this, you can also use a personality quiz just to create a fun quiz. There's no right or wrong answer. Users just select answers based on their preferences. And at the end, you can let them know what is their personality type based on the answers. And people love to know or learn more about themselves. So there are different ways in which you can use a personality quiz. Let's start with the lead magnet quiz. I want to show you how I created the lead magnet quiz that you see on my membership site, lab site. So this is SQB on my lab site, and this is my lead magnet quiz. And this course, I have created it in my membership plugin, Digital Access Pass, and users get access to this free course when they answer questions and opt in at the end. So that's why this is the lead magnet quiz, where users have to answer a bunch of questions to get access to this free course. A quiz in SQB has 4 main screens: start screen, question screen, lead generation screen, and then the outcome screen. And you do have the option of turning off the start screen in the display settings tab, and lead generation screen, you can turn it off in display settings tab. So if there is no lead generation screen, then SQB will directly send users when they answer the last question to the outcome screen, to the right outcome screen. If it's a personality quiz, you do need to create your outcomes first. And that's because when you create your questions, you need to map the answer choices that you have to the right outcome. So this is the name of the quiz, quiz description. This is a personality quiz. Display settings, this is a pop-up quiz. And lead generation screen, do you want to display an opt-in form? Yes. Connect with your platform. Here, I have connected it to DApp. You can see here, SQB integrates with DApp. When users answer questions and opt in, they will automatically get access to this free course in DApp. And I have selected this template. There are several templates and we'll be adding a lot more here, but this is the template I have selected, the very first one. Start screen. There are 2 options. You can use a simple button like this. That's what I am doing. And if you want to start screen like this with an image and more information, you can do that too. Now, if you're creating a personality quiz, one thing you will notice is outcome, this tab, outcome tab, it's going to show up before the questions. And this is by design. That's because in a personality quiz, you need to be able to map users to the right outcome based on their answers, right? So when you create your questions and you're putting together all the answers for the questions, you're creating your quiz, you need to tell SQB, based on their answers, what is the outcome you want them to be mapped to. For example, in this case, you can see I have 4 different outcomes. First one says action taker. Second one says busy schedule. Third one says implementation. Fourth one says no audience. So I have created these outcomes because I want to be able to group users into the right bucket, into the right category, based on their answers. So I have figured out what are the different possible outcomes. And it doesn't have to be perfect because you might start with 3 outcome types. And as you're creating your quiz, you're adding your questions and answers, there might be a need for additional outcomes, or you might be able to combine a few outcomes. Don't spend too much time on creating the outcomes. This is something that people get stuck on because they are not sure how many different outcome types they should create. I would create a few to start. And once you publish the quiz and users start answering questions and give you their feedback, then you can use that information based on their specific challenges and their specific needs and goals to maybe add additional outcomes. For example, here you can see one of the questions I have is, are you willing to put in the work, complete each lesson, implement what you have learned to get the most out of this course? And these are the possible answer choices where they can say, yes, I am an action taker. No, I don't have a big audience. Yes, I do plan on completing the course. Yes, as long as it's easy to implement, or I have got a busy schedule. So based on their answer choices, I want to put them in the right category, right bucket, right? So these are my outcome types. So these are the buckets that they are assigned to based on their answers, which is why you need to create these buckets first, and then you can do the mapping. Based on their answers, you can map them to the right bucket. So that's what I have done. So if they say, yes, I am an action taker, I do plan on completing it, then I map them to this group called action taker. If they say, no, I don't have a big audience, but yes, I do plan on completing it, I map them to a group called no audience. Yes, as long as it's easy to implement, then I map them to implementation group. I have got a busy schedule. I'll do my best. I map them to this group. So based on their answers, I map them to one or more groups. Here, if they answer this, I just want to map them to this one outcome type, but you can map it to multiple. So what happens is in the front end, as they answer the questions, then based on their answer, whatever outcome is it's mapped to will get a point. So at the end, whichever outcome type has the most points is their outcome type, right? So that's the one they are closest to. So that's how the mapping works, which is why in a personality quiz, you need to create your outcomes first, and then you need to create your questions. Now, in this case, you can see that this question, it does not really help me figure out what should be the right outcome. So here I have selected skip mapping, right? I'm not mapping the answer choice to any outcome because it's not helping me decide an outcome for the user. This is just for information. So if you have questions that is just for information and does not help you figure out the right outcome for the user, then you can just skip the mapping altogether for that question. But question number 2 here, the answer choices help me figure out the right outcome. For example, if they say I am an action taker, if they select that answer, then this answer choice should be mapped to the outcome action taker. If they say I don't have an audience, then I want to map them to this answer choice. So you can click on connect to outcome to connect it to the right outcome. And that's why you need to create the outcome first. So that's what I have done here. So after users answer all the questions, lead generation form shows up where they can opt in. They can enter their name and email and opt in. And when they opt in, SQB will add them to the right email platform that you have connected here in the display settings tab. So here I have connected to DApp. So when they opt in, SQB will add them to DApp and give them access to this course. But if you want to connect with your email platform, there are several platforms SQB integrates with. It also integrates with Zapier and Integrately, Pabbly Connect, these platforms, and it also supports webhook notifications. So there are several options here. And also if your platform supports HTML form-based integration, you can do that too. SQB supports HTML form integration. You can enter the HTML code here to complete the integration. So this is how it works, and it's fully customizable. You can see everything is click and edit. At the end, SQB will give you a short code. You can copy this and publish it on your site where you have SQB installed. And if you want the quiz to be on a completely different site, even if you don't have SQB, that's fine too. You can copy this embed code right here and publish it on any site, even if you do not have SQB on that site, and this quiz will show up there. So this is how it works, and you can see here, I have published the quiz here. And because I'm using a start button and not a screen, this button is showing up here, and I'm using a pop-up quiz. So when users click on it, the entire quiz shows up in a pop-up. So users answer the questions, and at the end, depending on their answer choice, right answer is displayed to them. So when they click on next here and sign up here, you can see here, this is outcome, and the outcome says, based on your responses, I see that you do not have a list or have a small list. So this is a win-win for everyone because this gives them access to the free course, right? So they answer a few questions. It helps me understand their specific needs. And because I know exactly what their issue is, what their challenge is, I can create content that can help them with that specific challenge. So this is a lead magnet quiz, and now let me show you how you can create a product recommendation engine using SQB's personality quiz feature. So this is our digital access pass site, and here I have a quiz right here. The goal of this quiz is to help our users, help our prospects figure out what license will work best for them based on their specific needs. So I'm using a start button instead of a start screen. And when users click on it, it's a pop-up quiz and users can answer some of these questions that I have. And when they finish answering all the questions, they can opt in right here and it will let them know what license will work best for them. For example, you can see here it says, based on your answers, it appears DAP is the right plugin for you and it supports the features you have. And based on your answers, it appears that you just need a basic license. So in the backend, I have mapped answer choices to the right license type. And at the end, based on all their answers, we are able to recommend the right license to them. This is a really great way to recommend the right product or the right resource using a personality quiz, because this way users don't have to read a long sales copy to figure out what is the right product or the right offer for them, right? The quiz will help them figure that out. And you also have the option of redirecting them to a completely different offer page based on their answers. So here I'm using just an outcome screen, but when you use SQB, you can also redirect users to a completely different page based on their outcome. So if the answer is DAP basic license, I could create a page just for DAP basic members and send them to a completely different offer page that's relevant to them. So now let me show you how I have set this up. All right, you can see here basic settings. Is DAP right for you? That's the name of the quiz. Display settings. This is a pop-up quiz. And I have enabled lead generation here. I have selected the first template. Start screen, I'm using a button here. And again, you can switch to a button or a screen right here. Outcome screen, there are 4 possible outcomes: DAP Elite, DAP Platinum. DAP may not be right for you. That's another one, because based on their answers, if they say, I do not want to use WordPress, I'm not looking for a WordPress plugin, then DAP is not the right solution for them, because DAP is a plugin for WordPress. So this quiz will let them know if DAP is not right for them. It's not just to recommend the right product or service, but also to let them know that, no, sorry, DAP will not work because it looks like you do not want to use WordPress and DAP is a plugin for WordPress. And outcome number 4, here you can see it says DAP Basic. And everything that you see here, fully customizable. And now let's take a look at the question screen. So question screen, here you can see there are all of these different questions. And you can map it, connect to outcome. For example, if they say, I'll be setting it up by myself, in that case, it maps to DAP Basic, because if they say that I'm going to set it up all by myself, they don't need the extra help that they get with DAP Elite or DAP Platinum membership. So based on their answers, we map it to the right license. If you do not want to map a specific question to any of the answer choices, you can simply skip mapping. Lead generation, they can sign up here, and when they sign up, then SQB will send them to the right outcome screen. At the end, it will give you a shortcode. You can publish it wherever you want. And if it's a button will show up where you have published it in the front end. And if it's a screen, then the screen will show up in the front end. That's how this works. If you want to use SQB to create a fun quiz, you can do that too. You can create a fun personality quiz like this one. Here it looks like this. And here I'm using a start screen. I'm not using a button. And outcome screen, you can see these are the possible outcomes, and you can create as many outcomes as you want. And a question screen, there are 11 questions in this, and based on the answer choice, it's mapped to the right outcome, and in some cases, multiple outcomes. And then the lead generation form, where they can opt in to see the final result. And again, lead generation and start screen, these are both optional. If you want to turn it off, you can do that in the display settings tab. At the end, it's going to give you a shortcode. You can publish it wherever you want the quiz to show up. In my case, this is my Smart Quiz Builder site. So this is my Smart Quiz Builder site, and you can see I have all of these demo quizzes. This is the quiz I'm using here. When they click on this button, it shows them this quiz in a pop-up. And they can answer the quiz. And when they finish answering the question, it shows them the outcome based on their answer choices. I hope this was helpful and answers all your questions about personality quizzes and different types of personality quizzes and how it can help you with your marketing, with your sales, with lead generation, and all of that. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. My name is Veena Prashant. I'm the creator of Smart Quiz Builder plugin, the best quiz and survey plugin for WordPress. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.